What's up, friendzonies? Thanks for tuning back in to another Keeping It Real with Danie Steele. So today I'm doing a video inspired by 13 Reasons Why. It's not a movie review or series review or anything, episode review. It's just some thoughts that I had hearing the premise of the show. I actually haven't watched the show yet, but I told my kids that I would check it out. So I'll try to check it out, you know. There's going to be a spoiler, which you could look up online very easily. I mean, I guess technically a spoiler could be if you read the premise of the show online. I'm going to tell you the premise of the show, which you can also find online when you look up the show. But basically, I guess the premise of the show is a young girl in high school decides to take her life, and she records the reasons why on 13 different cassette tapes. I said there were going to be spoilers, so hopefully you fast forwarded past that point. Now we're past that. Okay, back to the subject. I was surprised when I heard that, just because I feel like a lot of teenagers, because it is a show about teenagers, are going to be watching the show. And that message, she leaves 13 cassette tapes detailing why she took her life. But basically, each one focuses on a person who was complicit in her demise, if you will. And I just feel like that's a very dangerous message to send to kids, to teenagers. People need to understand that they need to be responsible for their own happiness. And it's just not taught at all. Like, you know, like, who teaches you that? I guess if your parents don't teach you that, then you'll never know it. But it's very important, and it's one of the key things that successful people talk about all the time. It's one of the reasons I had such a hard time with The Secret, the book The Secret, because I felt like they were saying, I mean, they literally say in there, like, anything bad that happens to you, you somehow willed that on yourself. And I just don't agree with that. I don't. But I think that, you know, knowledge is power, and the more you know yourself, the more you know the people around you, the more you know the society that you're living in, the more you can prepare yourself for the daily struggles and the struggles that we all have to face. Like I said, I had a hard time with the message from The Secret. At the same time, you know, like I said, I've been meditating, and meditation teaches you that you have to be responsible for your own happiness. So it doesn't matter who's hurt you, how old you were, you just all of a sudden have to spring up as this well-functioning adult. The reality is nobody cares. I guess, to me, nobody cares about that inner dialogue in your head that repeats all the bad things that have happened to you over and over again. Nobody cares about that. And people will be supportive of you for only so long on a certain subject. And then you're really on your own, and it's up to you to rid yourself of these negative thoughts. And some people can and some people can't. And how that manifests is obesity, promiscuity, drug abuse, violence, choosing the wrong people in our lives, you know, choosing people who remind you of the people that hurt you so that you can keep replaying that sad old song, right? So that you can keep reliving and rehashing what you know. And then some people have everything and they just fuck up anyways. I'm not really thinking or talking about them, but I'm talking about people who've had traumatic experiences. I talked briefly about some difficult things that I went through, and a black male troll who was upset that I'm in an interracial marriage, and I'm not talking about how awesome he particularly is every day, told me that's why you were in foster care. That's why you were in foster care, which is why I didn't want to share that, which is why I didn't want to share any personal information about me and just wanted to do a lot of very distant things on this channel. And I guess he doesn't care about the fact that my two black brothers, who also have and have had white partners, also were in foster care. So, are you ha-ha to them too? Is it ha-ha to all the black kids who are in foster care if they grow up and they're not doing what you want them to do? Troll. But again, when I made the decision to talk about that, I steeled I steeled myself up to the knowledge that somebody probably would say that because he hates himself and he hates his life and he hasn't come to terms with things that have happened to him in his life. And he thinks that trying to control someone that he doesn't know might fix that for himself. It never will. Sophia Nelson had a really great quote. I like to think of her as Queen Sophia Nelson. She had a really great quote the other day on her Instagram where she said, you know, you have to let go to get your blessings, because the person that hurt you can never heal you. And another person that had a great quote that I just saw today is Coach John Holly on Instagram. And he said, you know, remember, if the person that hurt you is temporary, so is the pain that they caused. That's very difficult to actually work with in real life. Get off my foot! Get out of here! My dog needs her nails clipped. So yeah, so they hurt a little. Like I was saying, it's very difficult to actually do these things, because when people hurt you or abuse you, especially when you're a child and you can't defend yourself, certainly when you become an adult, you want to rectify that situation. But what I realize is, and what I've always known is, I can't go back to the gutter and find these people, you know, and pull them out of the gutter and ask them why they did the things that they did. All I can do is share my story to try to help someone else to not have to go through the same thing. It's the high road. It's the better thing to do. And it's hard. So I'm gonna make this short. I just hope that, you know, if a younger person is watching, or someone who has kids, they can understand that, you know, it's very difficult, especially to tell teenagers, young people, kids, you know, that you're responsible for your own happiness. I've had abusive people tell me that before. It was like, you abused me when I was a kid and I was dependent on you. So it's very hard to tell me I'm responsible for my own happiness. But for some reason, when we become adults, it does not matter what happened to us as kids. Everyone expects you to stop. Pets. I haven't put the link in the box below yet, but stop it, you guys. Check out the Pets of the DK show on Instagram as well. Okay. It's hard to tell kids that, and I don't think a kid would understand that if you're not infusing them with love. If you don't teach them love, a child knows what they know. They can't know what they've never experienced. And if they haven't experienced love, you know, it's so sad that when they become adults, we just expect it to be flowing out of them. You know, love yourself, and where's your self-esteem? This dog. You know, and it's like, nobody ever taught me it, but I'm supposed to just now you know, have it radiating from me. But that is the way that it is. I've never felt like anyone particularly understood my struggles or where I was coming from. You know, if you're an adult and you have depression or anxiety, nobody cares. Even if you explain to them that that's something that you're dealing with, they don't care. You just lose friends if you don't hang out with them because of your depression and anxiety. They don't say, well, you know, that's understandable. She's been through this, she's been through that. You know, they'll just sit there and say, well, hey, you know, I don't like my job. We all go through stuff, you know. I didn't get the toy I wanted for Christmas, so we all go through stuff, and nobody cares. And that's the way it is. And if you give your child love, they'll have something to build on for themselves. And then you can tell them that your happiness is your own because you've given them a foundation to grab that from. But even if you're not given that, nobody cares. You just have to do it. You have to succeed in spite of everything, or you fail. And one thing I've learned about life is people will let you fail. They will definitely let you fail. You know, no one's going to be like, oh, hey, you're slipping there. You know, you're slipping a little. Need some help? That most likely is not going to happen unless you have a very supportive family, parents. So you have to have self-love. And, you know, people have called me entitled on this channel. I guess if I was entitled, I'd be asking people to drop some money in my PayPal link below, but I don't have a PayPal link. I don't ask people to give me money. I don't have a P.O. box. I'm not asking for gifts. But I'm entitled. So people, you know, even when you try to bring yourself up, a lot of people aren't going to like what that looks like. But you have to do it anyways. I won't apologize for how people read, how I choose to overcome my given circumstances. I won't apologize for that. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up if you felt moved by this video. Please share it. And don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Bye.